Hello, dear friends. I hope y'all are doing good today. I want to share a little bit that this has helped me in my walk with the Lord so much. And no one taught it to me but the Lord. And that's how I can share it, and you can take it. Go to the Lord. Talk with Him about it. He will do the same for you. He is not partial. He does not show favoritism we can find in the scriptures. So please try this out. And it helps us to trust in the Lord more and be more confident that He's hearing us, that He's directing us, keeping us safe, keeping us on that straight and narrow path of His plan for us, His purpose for our lives. It helps us to grow more confident in that. I'm also toying with a little video editor thing, so hopefully I can insert some scriptures. Really don't know what I'm doing with that, but I hope that it would be helpful. So I'm going to take my time. If it goes long, I apologize, but for anybody that wants to listen all the way through, I pray the Lord that it will help you for your everyday life. So many times we might read the scriptures or hear the scriptures being taught, but how in the world do we apply it to our everyday life? How do we do it? How do we become doers of the word rather than just hearing it? And so I've got a few little scriptures here. You can always look up more. Like I said, talk with the Lord about it. And I want to just put this in here. Some of the things I share, I understand that to some people, they may have not ever heard of these things, may have not ever thought of them. And I don't want anybody to be afraid. If you're like me, anytime I started listening to somebody, I was very skeptical. And I would always, and you can do this, talk with the Lord about whoever it is that you're listening to, whoever it is, and say, Lord, if it's not right for me to listen, please show me. Please make me turn it off, not listen anymore. Please, if it's okay to listen and it's true, please give me peace in my heart and an ease for my mind. And I would do that. And many times He would show me where deception was going on, and it kind of scared me. So I'm like you in that I test what I hear. I always talk with the Lord about it. That keeps you safe, So, and my heart is I would not want to lead anybody astray. My only desire is to lead people closer to the Lord, to get to know Him more, and that relationship. That is my desire before the Lord. So, this has been long ago, and when the Lord's trying to teach you something, His promises are true. We can cling to them. And say there's a promise in the scriptures we find, and we don't see that coming to pass in our lives. It's not true for us. Just because we don't have the faith for that promise does not mean that every promise of His is not true and sure. It's just that our faith hasn't grown to the point where we can actually apply it in our lives. But whatever you find that you need to live this godly life, ask the Lord for it, and it takes time, but He will do it. He'll do it. We have to trust that He will, All right, so I was reading scriptures one day, just reading along in my Bible, and I came to a scripture that everybody knows, Proverbs 3:5. Let's see if I can insert it here. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't lean on your own understanding. Well, I stopped there reading, and something in my mind said, keep reading. It was the Lord. So I went to verse 6. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will direct your path. Now, right away, like I said, I didn't know what he was trying to teach me here. But he showed me that this is a promise. And he showed me how to begin to apply this promise to my everyday life. And like I said, it took time. Some of these things I'm sharing, I have been doing for years. You know, the Lord's been teaching me and training me on things for years, some of the things I'm sharing. So it does take time. And there's things the Lord's showing me now that are in practice. You know, we're always like a little child before him, learning, waiting, messing up, you know, learning that when we confess something we've done wrong, he's faithful to forgive it. We do not have to carry that guilt and shame. Learning how patient and understanding he is with us. These are the things we learn along the way, even when we feel like we've failed and messed up. So yeah, what he showed me about this, acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will direct your path. How this has helped me so much in my everyday, ordinary life is whatever's going on, whatever situation arises, I need to make a decision, right? I don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do. That could be having to do with a job. It could be having to do with a relationship. It could be about anything, y'all. Excuse me. So what it is anything that comes up, I go to the Lord, I talk with him about it. Lay it there at his feet, if you will. Lord, I don't know what to do in this situation. But I've acknowledged him in the situation. I've recognized him. I've brought him into the picture. I've talked with him all about it. I am acknowledging him in this way. It says acknowledge him in all your ways. But I acknowledge him in this particular situation. Lord, you know all about it. I believe you're in control. I'm asking you to direct my path. Which way do I go here? And then, like I said, it requires more and more faith to believe this. But then, what I do is, I go. If I don't feel like I've directly heard from him, because back when I started practicing this, y'all, I wasn't that familiar with his voice. I didn't recognize when he was speaking with me. But he was growing my faith. So what I do, if I didn't directly get a knowing of which way to go, and that was him, I didn't have a peace about it, I didn't know, I would just go ahead and go. Make my decision, trusting that because I've acknowledged him in it, he's directing my path, he's directing my decision. Takes a lot of faith to do that. So now I just go. I make the decision and say, Lord, I don't know what you're telling me to do here. I don't feel like I've heard from you. I've got to make a decision. I've got to know what to do. I'm going to do this. Please stop me if that's not the right thing. Please change my mind. Please change the circumstances so that this doesn't go through if it's not right. And as I practiced doing this more and more, I became more and more confident that the Lord was directing my path just like he promised that he would do. Does that make sense? A few more scriptures here. Proverbs 16:3. Commit your works to the Lord, and your plans will be achieved. Another translation says your thoughts will be established. Just talk with him about it. Acknowledge him in it. Begin to more and more consult the Lord about things that you need to do, things that are going on. Rather than consulting all these other people, what do you think I should do? Go to the Lord. Lord, what do you want me to do here? And we can begin to trust more and more that he is causing us to walk the way he wants us to. Psalm 37:5. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will help you. That's a promise. In Jeremiah 42:3, we see the people saying to Jeremiah, pray that the Lord will show us the way we should go and what we should do. They were seeking the Lord and what he wanted in these situations, rather than, what we want to do, how we want to answer that person, how we want to deal with the situation. Consulting with the Lord about everything. Habakkuk 2:1 says, I will stand at my watchpost. I'll look out to see what he will say to me, how he will answer me. He went and laid his complaint before the Lord and waited, trusting and expecting that the Lord would answer him, that the Lord would make sure that he made the right decision. He will make sure that we go the path that he has planned for us. Psalm 5:3. In the morning you hear my voice. I lay my plea before you and wait in expectation. These are just a very few little scriptures anybody can look at. I tell you, this works in all ways. The Lord's eyes are on us. He is for us. He cares about us in every little detail of our life. It doesn't matter how small. The Lord is into the little tiny details. He's into everything. And we just want to make sure that more and more we're consulting with him. We're turning to him, and asking him to direct our path. Y'all, this is a promise. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will direct your steps. That's a promise. So many times, even in recording these videos, I've said, Lord, please don't let me share if it's not right. Don't let me share out of arrogance or pride or wanting to be somebody, Lord. Help me just to share what you would have me to share. Keep me from sharing my own opinions and my own thoughts and everything like that. Because there's no power to change anybody in Misty's thoughts and mind and wisdom. We need the Lord's wisdom and power to change. Going forth. That's what will change a person's heart. Not us. The Lord working through us, speaking through us, encouraging through us, correcting through us, whatever it is required. We want that more and more, And so many times, I tell you, I've recorded something, it would not upload. I knew I took it. The Lord was keeping me from doing just what I asked. Or I'd record and there'd be a clicking noise in it. I couldn't upload that. It was a clicking noise all through it. And I'd say, well, Lord, I must have not supposed to share about that. You see, so many times we've counted things as coincidence or, this or that. I don't anymore. The Lord's hand is in everything. We just must get familiar with more and more how he works, how he speaks, how he is directing our path. So I would encourage anybody to acknowledge him in all your ways. trusting Him more and more that He is directing your path. Even if something comes about that's not a favorable thing, maybe an argument came about and you said, Lord, well, I ask you, Lord, should I speak to this person? Y'all, even if something like that happens, the Lord has taught me there was something for me to learn. So I hope that could help anybody to think about in their decision making, in which way to go, so we don't have to worry all the time. Am I doing the right thing? Am I pleasing the Lord? He surely will get our attention. And there's a wonderful scripture. You could Google it and look it up. It says He even broadens the path beneath our feet so that we won't slip or fall this way or that. So even if it's scary and, we feel like it's just got to be this way or that and we want to go the Lord's way, He broadens the path beneath our feet to keep us from falling. He's amazing, amazing in all His ways. We just want to get to know Him more. So I love y'all. I'll talk to you later.